welcome to another episode of Speak On It. I'm your host. Got my two co-hosts with me. Dom got Tim and Biv with me. This is our sports edition. So we got a jam-packed show just talking about what's going on in sports right now. Football is back next week, so I'm excited about that. But before we jump right into the show, make sure that you go follow us on our Facebook Live where we're live right now. Tell a friend. Make sure you start those watch parties and share it. Make sure you go to us and follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and listen to us on our Spotify. Without further ado, we definitely going to jump into the show. I'm going to let Biv say something to the people before we get started.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a nice week. Thanks for coming out. Just enjoy the ride, man. It's going to be a good show.
I'm trying to get my stuff together, but we all good. Let's get it rocking.
Let's get it rocking, y'all. Y'all know where we start. We start off baseball rankings. Baseball almost over, y'all. The season is like halfway here. Like it's crazy. We just had the deadline like 2 days ago. I'm gonna start off with these top 5 power rankings. And just going through my notes. I'm gonna kick it off number 5. I don't like doing it, but I'm gonna go San Diego. I was coin flipping between them and the Braves. Because the Braves good, right? The Braves hot right now too. They first in the National League East. Even though we should have swept them. But what the boy Titus is doing right now, actually with that whole team doing it right now. And it's not just him. I know he is the face, but that whole team balling. You know what I mean? They just made a trade. I think that's gonna propel them also to keep going. But I got the Padres right now as my number 5 team.
Oh, well, I was a little biased. So I put the Braves in at number 5. I mean, 7-3 in their last 10. They beat the Red Sox last night. I think my man had what was his name? Azuña had
Marcell
3 home runs.
Azuña.
Yeah, he had three of them things. So looking good. I mean, the Red Sox is trending a different way, but I'll take a win, and we're on top of the division. So I put them at 5.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I think if we had swept y'all this weekend when we played y'all this week, we would have jumped into the number 1 spot, man. I'm tight that we lost that last game, but it is what it is.
Yeah, y'all only 3 games back, so y'all got some time.
I got the Braves at 5, and I don't think it's biased. We leading our division, so we're also playing good baseball. We're 7-3 in our last 10. Got a plus 35 run differential, and we're doing it without Ozzy Albies at second base. So I feel like, and then Ronald Acuna just came back. So I feel like we're playing really good baseball right now, and we're getting pieces back. So I don't feel like it's biased having them at number 5, but I also have no quarrel with the Padres being at number 5, or a few other teams if you had put them in over the Braves, because right now there's some teams that I think they're starting to find that groove. And again, this is what happens when you put it in a short season. Teams are going to start finding a groove going into the playoffs, so it's going to be a really good playoffs. But yeah, Braves
like
at 5.
You said, I can't knock it. I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? I think Marcell Azuña, that he right now he looking like the free agent of the season right now. You know what I mean? He been carrying y'all this year, and like I said, and y'all ain't got Mike. You know what I mean? So for y'all to still be in first place doing what y'all doing, with a couple of pieces and a couple of bats, not playing, and y'all ace going down. Like I said, I can't knock it, but I just feel like what the Padres are doing, I feel like they don't get a lot of love, so I just want to show them some love today. At my number 4, I went with the Indians. I went with the Indians at my number 4. They are 6-4 in their last 10. They are a plus 48 and a differential. That's second in baseball. And they playing good baseball. I think they've been on our top 10 or top 5 throughout the season, and they just been consistent all year. So I'm gonna go with the Indians, even though I wanted Shane off that team.
Well, I went Chicago White Sox. Even though their last game they lost against the Twins, they beat them on Monday. It was a toss up between those two, and I got the White Sox trending the right way, so I got them at 4.
He said,
I'm with you, Tamon. I got the White Sox at 4, 7-3 in the last 10. They are playing some really good baseball right now, and again, this is a team that I don't think too many people were thinking about having a shot in the AL Central. So, shouts out to them, man. They're playing some really good baseball. So, I got the White Sox at 4.
they got I think they got the only no hitter this year too.
Yeah,
Like I said, they doing their thing. They just came off a streak where I think they had 4 straight grand slams and like 5 out of 6 grand slams and 5 grand slams out of 6 games. Like they balling. Yeah, I mean, they can be a scary team. Yeah, I mean, if they keep this up. So like you said, nobody really picked them this year to do anything. But they doing their thing. So no knock. Tamar mentioned another team, like you said, the Twins. That's another team that you could have threw in there. Like you said, just looking down the list, man, it's a lot of teams that you definitely could have put in here. But at my number 3, I had to go with the Oakland A's. I know they lost their last 2, but they 6-4 in their last 10. And a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, we would have had them at the top spot. But they fell off a little bit, not too far. But they playing good. They still playing good baseball.
Well, I got the Tampa Bay Rays at 3. You know
Mine
they.
sound like an undercover A's fan.
No. What you mean? I got the Rays, the Tampa Bay
No,
Rays.
but you probably gonna have. I gotta see your next 2, who your top 2 is.
But I mean they went 1-1 against the Yankees right now. Played them today later on this evening. And from what I've seen, they've only lost their last 2. One of them is to the Yankees, which I think that it looks like it's between those two. I think Toronto may have something to say about it, but as far as winning a division, it looks like it's between those two. And I got the Rays right now at the top, so I got the Rays at 3.
I got
You
the
got the Rays at 3,
Indians at
right?
3. Mm-hmm. I got the Indians at 3. I got the Indians at 3. When you trade a guy like Mike Clevenger, you know, and then you look and you see Jose Ramirez is not having that great of a year. You look, Francisco Lindor, he's not having a typical year, and they're still winning. So that just goes to show that it's more than just big names, and pitching is still it still reigns. And with Bieber at the top of that rotation, they're solid. And I'm not sure about Kluber coming back or not, but at this point, it's a luxury to have him. But it looks like they're going to be just okay without him. But man, they are looking really good, man.
No, it's crazy what you just said, right? Just think about the 4 names you just named. All 4 of those names has always been in trade talk. Like all 4 of them, Shane Bieber, Cleveland, who just got traded, Francisco Lindor, who I thought was gonna get traded, and Kleber. Right, and they still just perform, and they are one of those teams that's just consistent. I don't know what they're gonna do in the playoffs, but they just consistent. Like they're gonna make it to the playoffs. They're gonna have a good record. That Cleveland Indians, that's a good team right there, man. Number 2 for me is the Tampa Bay Rays. The mindset, everything they said about them. They were hot. They just lost to the Yankees. So like he said, they are going to be fighting for that top spot in the AL. But they playing great baseball.
So at number 2, he said I'm an Oakland A's fan. So shout out to Oakland. But Oakland A's at number 2.
That's why I say you're
Even though
Oakland fan.
even though they had their series postponed against the Mariners, and they got to play the last 26 games in 24 days. That's a nice stretch with some doubleheaders. But I mean, they've been playing good baseball, and they've been the most consistent as far as being in the list. Them and the next team that I got at number 1. So Oakland A's at 2.
I got the Rays at 2. Um, they they're looking like the team to beat in the AL East right now. I know the Yankees are, some guys were down. I think Mayu just came back. They still got the Carlos Stanton down. So the Yankees are going to find a groove, but I think the Rays are going to be right there with them until the end. So I got the Rays in. They're playing really good baseball too.
Only thing with the Yankees, like after their ace, I can't even think of his name right now. Dang.
So my Garrett Cole.
Yeah, Garrett Cole. After Garrett Cole, like pitching, I think that's what's going to do them. I think the Rays, they steady all across the board. And to me, the Yankees, they got bats, and if those bats not hitting, they can be beat by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I definitely think the Rays going to win that division. But my number 1, and I think everybody number 1 is unanimous. Even though I don't like it, but it's the Dodgers. Man, they got a plus 93 differential. A plus 93 differential, bro. Like, there's nothing you can say. And that lineup is nasty. Their pitching is nasty. Everything all across the board, you can't poke a hole in anything that they do, except that I don't know. But they just a nasty team, man. So I got the Dodgers at number 1.
I got the Baltimore Orioles at number 1.
I thought about that too.
No, I got the Dodgers, man.
Same man, Dodgers. I'm not as high on the A's as y'all are.
I just think what they've done consistently, I get it. Yeah, I mean, like you said, especially putting some of the other teams, when you look at some of the other teams that you have ahead of them, but just they've been consistent. So because they've been consistent, I just didn't want to take them out.
They've been consistently beating the Mariners, the Angels, and the Rangers.
The way the season
consistently doing. That's
the way
what
the season is, you can only beat who in your division.
But they're only 5-4 against the rest of the NL East. The NL West, because that's the only other division that they're playing. But they're only 5-4. They're 17-8 in their division, and majority of those wins are against the Angels and the Rangers, who are 2 of the worst teams in baseball. I'm not feeling the A's right now. I'm not feeling.
I get it, but you can only play who on your schedule.
I know, and because other teams are doing so much better. Like the Dodgers are like 10-2. They're like, that shows you that's just how weak the AL West is. They're 10-2 against the AL West. Like, it's like no challenge to them. So I can't say that they're 10-2 against that division, and then look at the A's and say, man, you're 5-4 against their division, and say that they're on the same level. I can't say that.
I get it. Like you said, listen. Go ahead, Tamar.
How would you compare? We're talking about divisions. The AL West. What football division would you compare it to?
AL West.
The AL West.
Yeah, AL West and MLB would be
Tom Brady-less Patriots.
I would say the AFC East, because the Astros are so much better than everybody else, and everybody else usually sucks. Just keeping it real.
Okay, so the A's are like the Bills right now.
The Bills.
Yeah, that's great. Because the Bills, every now and again, they'll have that season where you like, this might be the year. This might be the year. And it's not the year. And I got a feeling that we're the A's, this the year. and then the Astros is going to come out of nowhere and take that division, and you're going to be like, man. But the A's can still get in because the second place team in the division gets in. Mike Trout, brother. See, and that's another thing. Like we can get into that. Like the Angels are underachieving right now because I'm sitting here talking about how the A's are just beating up on the Angels.
Yeah,
that's not a good look.
I'm glad you brought it up.
He's trying. He's trying.
I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him. His numbers is always what it is. In a baseball, it's harder for one player to control the outcome of a baseball game, especially a guy that bats. A pitcher, he can control, but he only going to do it once every 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? An everyday guy, he has very little control on the outcome of a game. I can get on base every time I go up to bat a game, and if the guys behind me don't hit me around, there's nothing I can do about that. So, like, it's not on him, but, man, it's like, I hope he is not wasting that level of talent there. And, you know, and we're not going to be able to see him in October possibly again.
It ain't the possibly. He ain't making it.
Man, I'm not holding out, man. It's too many games left. They can get to second place. Or get a wild card. Or get a wild card. All they gotta do is get the second wild. All they gotta do is get the second wild card, man, and then anything's possible. But
man,
he's got to get in, man. He's got to get in. I got to see him in October, man. He's too good to not have an October moment.
The Red Sox are ahead of them. They are the worst team in.
I know, man.
They're the second worst team in baseball.
Second worst team in baseball. I know, man. I'm not giving up on y'all Angels.
I want him to get in. I want him to get in. Come on. Because
let's go, man. Let's go. I need to see Mike Trout have an October. I don't see him enough. Even right now, I don't see him enough. You know, I need to see him in October on the grand stage, man. That level of talent, it's got to be crazy.
That's crazy.
Imagine LeBron James never getting in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of that.
It's wasted. Yep.
This is the equivalent of LeBron James never getting in the playoffs. That's what we're witnessing right now. A generational talent not having playoff experience. That's not good, man. We got to get Mike Trout in the playoffs, man.
Only way you're gonna do
Let's go.
Get traded.
Let's go, Angels.
Way.
Let's go.
And we seen what Rendon can do in the playoffs. I mean, so they just got to get there. And right now,
got to get in.
It ain't looking too good. I don't know what their schedule looking like moving forward, but
I mean, they still playing in that sorry division.
Well, that sorry division been beating them up.
Even exactly. That's what I'm not understanding. Never mind. Move on.
So before we move on, I did have one more thing about the baseball. Because we playing them right now, and like they still sucking because they got Juan Soto back, they got their players back, and to me it's like, what's going on there in Washington? I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it, but
championship layover.
I don't even say it's a championship layover. I'm getting ready to be completely honest. They had a magical run last year. That was the Dirk Nowitzki 2011 Mavs last year. It was a magical run. That team was not that good. Like Howie Kendrick was the star of the show.
He's still hitting though.
That's how desperate them bets had gotten. A veteran that people thought was over the hill was the guy that had to step up and really carry them at times offensively. That was a magical run. And when Strasburg goes down, Scherzer is not having that great of a year. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. Rendon gone. It was bound to happen. They had to go on a crazy run just to get into the playoffs last year, and it just continued.
It goes to like what you've been saying all season. And I heard somebody say it today. Larry Anderson said today. He said when it's 162 games, you can start out like Washington been starting out. You can start out like that and then dig your way out. But when it's only 60 games, You can't start out in a hole like that and then think you're gonna climb yourself out because like you said, in a month from now, we in the playoffs.
Season up, right? Season up.
Yeah, like you think
playoffs.
about it, you lose 2 out of 3 for like 2 weeks. You're
definitely
done.
Right.
That's like a 10-game losing streak in a regular season.
Yep, and that you can't climb out of that. And that's why I think
you can't have bad starts by players and not have other guys step up. It's not. Washington was in a really bad place to begin with, and it just got worse on opening day when Matt Scherzer got beat around.
Where I think is Boston, the Angels, and Washington are all in that same boat. You know what I mean? They all in that same boat. So that's why I don't think any of them will make the playoffs. And 30 games left. I just don't see it. I mean, unless they go on a magical run.
But also with that magical run, they're gonna need some teams to collapse too.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a few teams to collapse, even when you have to win, when you can be the second place team, or you can get the second wild card. You're still gonna need a whole bunch of teams to collapse because there are some teams that are playing some really good baseball right now, and the Red Sox aren't, the Angels aren't, and the Nationals aren't.
See, I think the Nationals, looking at the teams that's ahead of them, like you said, they do need teams to collapse, but teams are already collapsing around them. I'm just looking at it right now, like Brewers, the Rockies. Like I had Rockies at one point in my number 3 power rankings.
Yeah, they was deserving at the time.
And now they collapse. Like Miami, how long you think Miami gonna hold on to that to a playoff spot? I don't think they're gonna hold on to a playoff spot. So I think Washington is the best suited to make a playoff run. But the other team that you want to get, that we both want to get in, I just can't see it.
Not in the American League.
I say not in the American League, boy. They need a lot of help.
They'd have a chance in the National League, but in
the
American
National League, yeah, definitely, especially with those bats.
American League, they ain't got a shot.
So, move forward, right? I'm gonna jump into a little bit NFL news real quick. We had Leonard Fournette get released on Monday. We also had the trade of Yannick Ngakoue to the Vikings, and now I'm hearing that the Bucks are interested in Leonard Fournette. One thing I want to ask, I'm going to deal with the Jags, and I talked a little bit about it in the chat. 3 years ago, they were a halftime away from getting to the Super Bowl. 3 years later, I don't know what they're doing. So what are your thoughts on like the Jags, man? And I said it. I just threw mine out there because I said it in the chat. I think Khan should sell the team. I think he should sell the team. They have no star attraction. They haven't had star attractions in a long time. When I think about the Jags, I just think that they are trending brownish type area. Like they're trending to where like the Brown, like how we view the Browns. And the Browns are actually looking a whole lot better than these days than the Jags have looked in decades outside of that one run.
I mean, from what it looks like to me, it looks like the Jags is blowing it up. They going into a direction to where they're probably tanking for Trevor Lawrence. And maybe they can try to get Dabo to come along as well. It's a high possibility, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm not gonna say conscious of the team, but I think that they messed up with having Bortles return that next year. To be quite honest, you had the best defense in the league, and like you said, you up in Foxborough Stadium in an AFC Championship game. I mean, it's. I'm hoping that's what they're doing. I mean, otherwise it looks like it's very dysfunctional there in Jacksonville. But Leonard Fournette going to the Bucks, that's okay. Okay, but go ahead, man.
What does it mean when an NFL team has blackouts?
I think that means that they're not selling or not enough. They don't have enough viewers, or they're not selling enough tickets. I'm looking at. I'm trying to look it up right now. The same thing. Like,
Yeah, I think it has something to do with
I don't.
the fans that are attending or something like that.
yes, it's attendance or watching.
I kind of thought it was something like that. I don't think the Jags have a problem with just ownership. I think the Jags have a problem with location. There, to think that the South is football, and to think that Florida is like the capital of high school football outside of Texas, and your pro football team can't sell enough tickets or get enough viewers to not have blackouts. They have the most blackouts, I think, like every year. So that's an issue. And then, how can you blow up a team basically the year after a run to the AFC Championship, and that was your only run? That was their only run. Like that's not blowing up. That's almost like I don't want to pay these guys. Before I have to pay them, I'm gonna move them. Before I have to pay them, I'm gonna release them. So like, I hope that Trevor Lawrence does not go there. I wouldn't wish anybody to go there right now with the way that franchise is run. Like this is bad. This looks bad. And this is after, think about it. This is after years of trying out quarterbacks with like, and Tamon, you and I are Michigan fans. So this is gonna hurt when I say this, but they had Chad Henne and Denard Robinson. Like, I mean, this is the Jaguars, and then they went with the Blake Bortles experiment. But at the same time, they were constantly rotating the people that was around him. At the same time, it was hard for him to adjust to whatever system it was. So I'm not saying that it was just him. It was a lot him. He was still making the decisions to throw the football where he was throwing them. But it was a lot of dysfunction. And now you see that it wasn't just him. You're seeing that the organization is just dysfunctional. Jalen Ramsey, you move him. Now you're moving this guy. No, I think, didn't they move, was Miles Jack moved to, right? Like,
They didn't move Miles. They didn't move Miles. They moved Calais Campbell. They moved Jackson.
Like, they moved so many guys from that team, and you think, like, how do you blow up a team that had just one run? Just one. You didn't even try to go back for a true second run. The next year, the offense was so bad and the defense was good that they couldn't really get to the playoffs, and then they was just like, you know what? Forget it. Let's just move everybody. Let's find the right offensive pieces to go with this great defense. Let's find the right offensive pieces to go with it. Like how Denver did with Peyton Manning. They had to go find that one quarterback, even though he was over the hill, they went and found him for that great defense. Like, you've got to make decisions like that and give it a run. You can't just start moving guys the way they've been moving them over the past few years.
I agree. So, like, for me, they had Tom Coughlin, right? The beef between Tom Coughlin and Jalen Ramsey, they chose Tom Coughlin because they wanted structure and everything like that. Then they chose Doug Marrone. So to me, it's just their decision making. This is why I say Khan should get. I know he's a good businessman, but his decision making is up in the air. Like Yannick Ngakoue, stud, 25-year-old defensive end. Calais Campbell, stud, player, man of the year, like great locker room presence, and he's still balling. You got rid of AJ Bouye, who they just moved. They got rid of Jalen Ramsey and Leonard Fournette. I know, like people will say, like they didn't want to pay him. Leonard Fournette, he rushed for last year. He rushed for 1,100 yards. Like 9 touchdowns, caught 73 passes. he was 30. I think he was 36% of your offense. 36% of your offense. And then like, and to me, what Tamon said when he said take it for Lawrence, right? To me, that's dysfunctional. That would be dysfunctional because you have Garner Minshew in there who you gave the keys to by shipping out Nick Foles. You brought in Nick Foles. He didn't play. You allowed Garner Minshew to play. You shipped out Nick Foles. Looked like dysfunction, right? 3 years in a row, you got another starting quarterback. That looks dysfunctional to me. That looks like there's no direction. There is, and like Biff said, I hope they don't do that to my man. I hope they do not do that to Trevor Lawrence. I hope they don't do that because it looks like they have no direction. They should legit just move the team to London because that's their home. That's legit their home stadium, and that's what they should do. They probably get more people watching if they move the team to London.
They probably trying to figure that out behind the scenes. I mean, they've been playing with it a lot, and the majority of the time it's the Jaguars that go over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, especially with them using the other teams to try to do like the October series just to gauge to see how the atmosphere is. Because I mean, if you just have one team in London, you know what I mean, it brings a lot of attention. So
Yeah.
that would definitely be a good look.
Yeah, it'd be a good for the NFL. It'd definitely be a. They need a fresh.
I don't understand. I don't like Yannick gave up some money though too, so he had to want to get out of Jacksonville.
Wanted to get out. They all wanted to get out.
That's crazy, man. When you have that type of talent, bro, that's ridiculous, man.
Everybody on that defense, everybody wanted to get out. Like Telvin Smith retired. He retired in his prime.
He sure did. And he was all right too. He was all right too.
So
wow.
To me that just speaks to leadership. That speaks to there aren't any leaders in that building that people want to play for. So, and like I said in the chat, Gardner Minshew is going to have to take off. That's what's going to have to take off. If that takes off, that catches on, and say he becomes a household name, that's the only thing that'll save the Jags. Like ticket sales and everything like that. People will watch the games because Garner Mania, whatever it is, that's what people will watch for. Not saying he'll win, but that's what people will watch for because it's a catchphrase. But other than that,
it'll be good for business.
He good for business. That's exactly what it is.
He is. I don't care how hot he gets. He will never be hot enough to sell tickets for that team. He'll never be hot enough to sell tickets for that team.
Yeah, they gotta do something. Man. That team is.
And it's crazy because you think everybody else in that division has a plan.
Yeah. Except for them.
Their plan was defense.
Except for them.
Their plan was defense.
They're going 1-15, 2-14.
Yo, if they get Trevor Lawrence,
he can pull an Eli. He can pull an Eli and say, "I don't want to go there."
No, I don't think he. Like I said, but I don't think he will. I don't think he will do it. I wouldn't blame him. I don't think he will do it. Just the type of kid that I think he is. I don't think he will do it, but I hope they win enough games to not get him. But you know what's crazy?
Even with him being the kid that he is, man, if he get the right agent,
man, he get the right people. He need if the right people are around him, they're gonna talk him out of that.
Listen, they don't care. They're like, we getting one of y'all. All of y'all ain't going to opt out. I don't give a freak. Trevor Lawrence.
No, they'll get somebody.
Ohio, what's the dang? I can't even think of
Fields.
Justin Fields or Trey Nance. They gonna get one of them. They getting somebody. Or Newman. They're gonna get somebody.
And I hope that they sell the team and relocate.
Should. Like
within the week that they draft that young man, because I don't want that young man to go through that. That's not for anybody.
So the Diddy and them, they was trying to buy Carolina. They still trying to buy a team.
Man, Diddy and them don't even want that. But anyway, so the other trade, right?
He said take that.
He said take
He's
that.
Gonna try to move the team to Harlem, man.
Definitely, definitely moving to Harlem. But so Yannick going to the Vikings, man. Thoughts, man. I'm gonna tell you, as an Eagles fan, when I seen it, I said, mother. Because listen, a lot of people talk about Kirk Cousins, right? But Kirk Cousins actually had a good season last year. He got Dalvin Cook. They got okay weapons out there on the outsides. But their heart is their defense. They lost Everson Griffin, but they replaced him with Yannick Ngakoue. I think that's a scary team, man.
Yeah,
And they beat the Saints last year.
I've always liked the Vikings. You know what I mean? It seemed like they was hard nosed and just need to be healthy in the right spot, the right time. And that was a huge pickup. Like you said, when I seen that the Minnesota Vikings got him out of all teams, I was like, wow, like that's not even cool. But yeah, that was a great pickup for them, definitely.
And they already picked up the ball from the Ravens. Mike Pierce, like, yeah, that defensive line gonna be nasty.
All right, Mike Zimmer, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, the rich keep getting richer over there in Minnesota as far as the defense is concerned. For them, it's still gonna come down to the offense and making plays and making Kirk Cousins. You know, can he make the throws when he needs to make the throws? So, to me, it was just like, wow, well, their defense is just gonna be better than it was. So, like, it wasn't like, you know, it was like, man, like, it makes you wonder though, like, teams that are bad, are you ever trying to get good?
Probably not.
Like, think about it though. Like, the Minnesota Vikings are already really, really good defensively. They just added another piece. But teams that were, you know, middle of the pack, and they might need that one great guy defensively. They rarely make those types of decisions.
That's why they bad. Because they don't make those types of decisions.
Maybe because the owners are just thinking of it as a business versus winning championships. And you got to actually have like right football people in there and making the football decisions versus it being a business decision and bottom line. Because I mean, like you said with Jacksonville, you got the defense and then you ship Jalen Ramsey out, bro. Like he's the closest to shutdown that I've seen in a while, in my opinion.
They shipped off all pros.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, yo. Not even Pro Bowlers.
Level.
They shipped out
multiple pros.
Multiple all pros at every level.
They shipped every level, man.
Both they all pro corners, 2 they all pro D tackles, and an all pro defensive end. You can't win like that. Like, you can't win like that. You need talent.
And the one all pro, you drafted him like that,
and he a lot of them.
And I'm just saying,
they drafted
like that,
several of them.
I don't get it. It was some decisions made correctly in that aspect. Whoever was there during that time made some, but man,
maybe they fell in. So Jalen Ramsey was a no-brainer. Jalen Ramsey, no-brainer.
Those middle of the pack guys, though, man, it's got to be a business for them, man. It can't be about championship.
I don't know. Maybe, like you said, maybe they not. Maybe it is. But even shipping out is still that's still business. Like we just talked about it. Y'all lead the NFL in blackouts. You losing money.
Yeah.
You losing money. Like ain't nobody.
I know their fan base was crazy 3 years ago. 2 years ago at least.
Man, listen, everybody named mom rooted for Jacksonville. Like that no-fly zone. That defense, the Saxonville, I think was nasty. Now, I don't know what the heck they doing.
But I mean, it's only certain teams that make noise. But what's going on with your boy Alvin, man? Over there in New Orleans, man. Why are they trying to get rid of him?
So here's the thing. A report came out today. They said they close to a deal. I legit don't know. For them to say that he is available for the right price, which I believe almost everybody is available for the right price. But nobody will tell you, if Jeffrey Lurie came out and said, or Howie Roseman came out and said, Carson Wentz is available for the right price, like that sends a terrible message.
What's funny to me is you see Leonard Fournette get released because of the contract, whatever they didn't want to pay him, and now you hear that the Saints, who are looking to make a playoff, a Super Bowl run, are willing to trade their best running back because of contract negotiations. And then you just seen where guys, running backs, just continuously fail in the draft. Like it's almost like they know they can get another one. Like these Swiss Army knife running backs, you can get another one, and you can have 3, 4, 5 guys back there. They can all do the same thing. So it's almost like, man, if you're really, really good, yeah, you're really, really good, but I can get 2 or 3 guys to do the same thing that you do. And to me, at that position, it's just continuing to be devalued, man. It really is. And we're seeing it when you release a Leonard Fournette, and then the very next day you're hearing that Alvin Kamara is available for trade for the right price. You're not going to get the right price because you're going to probably want a first-round draft pick because he's a first-round talent, and he's still young, but they're not drafting running backs in the first round anymore. So why am I going to give you something that I wouldn't even use on a running back? So you're probably not going to get true value for him on the market.
No, you're not.
It's crazy, right? Super Bowl, like the Chiefs was the Super Bowl champion last year. Who was their running back? Damian Williams. Now he's not a big name, but he did contribute. To me, he was the MVP of that season. Of not the season, but of that Super Bowl. You know what I mean, outside of those 2 marvelous throws that Patrick Mahomes made.
Yeah.
But even I think about the 49ers, the other team that was there, that was represented. It's that running game. That running game is what kept them. You know what I mean, with their defense in that running game. And
yeah, a lot of backs.
Like I said, they just rotate. They got a lot of backs that they rotate in. Even like I'm trying to think the Super Bowl before that was the Patriots. He's been doing this with James White and Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead, like
Burkhead, that's it.
whatever the frick their names are. Like they do the teams with the big time running backs. Ty Gurley was there, so but then they shipped him out like the year after. But the teams with the big time running backs, I'm with you. They don't really they look to replace you. But I do think that's going to, like, stuff is going to come full circle, and that might come back to bite certain teams. Like Alvin Kamara, he's not your typical every down back. Like he's not your typical back that you can just
typical bell cow. He's not a bell cow. He's not a guy that you can just hand the ball off to 25, 30. He's not your traditional back.
But
you get him in space with a matchup.
But if you give him 25 to 30 touches, yeah, like he's really, really dangerous.
So that's where I'm like, those type running backs don't just grow. They don't grow on trees. You ain't gonna just say I'm gonna find another Alvin Kamara. To me, it's like 5 backs in the league that does what Alvin Kamara does. Like he's gonna run it. He might run it 15 times, catch it 15 times, and have on a year he might lead the league in all-purpose yards. You know what I mean? Christian McCaffrey, another one. You're looking at Saquon Barkley, who's another one. These running backs, they don't just grow on trees. So all you can say, we can replace you, but I would like to see it. I would like to see you try to replace him.
Yeah, go ahead and replace him. Send him somewhere else. Send him to the AFC, bro. Send him to
What if they send him to the Seahawks?
We definitely need it.
You better stop talking and tell them to keep it.
Oh. Why would you do that?
Send him
you the one said send him somewhere.
Send him out the conference. That's what I'm talking about.
To the Rams or the
Send
Cardinals.
him out the conference and not to the Chiefs. Send him to the. I don't even know. I can't even think of them.
Anywhere you go, they're gonna make them better.
They're not sending him nowhere. They're gonna get this contract extension.
Yeah, they definitely need to get their contract done.
They're gonna get that done.
Will.
Come on, you're not gonna trade a guy that you can't. You're not even, unless you're trading him for another guy at his level. And that's the only way you can replace him when you're trying to make a Super Bowl run. You can't trade him for picks. You're going to have to trade him for another guy at his level. And how many, and like Dom just said, how many of those are available to the point where a team is going to say, yeah, let's just switch our running backs?
Let's switch them out.
Y'all contenders. I mean, they've been contenders the last 3-4 years. And my man in the backfield, they done shipped out Mark Ingram and kept him. They're still in the race. So
here's the thing about what you said. Drew Brees is 41. He ain't gonna be there all the time. At some point, the team is gonna be. They're gonna have to switch like their philosophy, and the team's probably gonna be Alvin Kamara's team.
Or Taysom Hill.
Man, Taysom Hill 30. Like, yeah, he's 30. And he ain't ready.
It looks like they're trying to groom him though.
If anything, right now, I'm probably, if I'm the Saints and I'm thinking with my head, I'm probably gonna try to restructure him and extend him longer, and probably try to sign Leonard Fournette. He's from the area.
Yep.
We need another big back to replace from Mark Ingram. That's the forward thinking mind. I'm gonna restructure. I'm gonna go to Alvin Kamara and say, hey, look, we're gonna bring in Leonard. He's a hometown kid. Bring him in, take some touches off him. You ain't got to worry about taking all of that banging at the goal line. We'll let him do it. Like, that's what I would be trying to do if I'm the Saints. I'm trying to get both of them.
Especially
Sean Payton, he didn't say that.
Sean Payton definitely ain't gonna say that. But
no, that's great. But listen, don't do that.
Sean Payton is not gonna do it. But he's going to go to Tampa. That's what I'm hearing. And if you go to Tampa,
also heard the Patriots are in.
Yeah, I did hear that too.
A report just said that the Patriots are likely out on. Oh no. Okay, Patriots are interested in Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, if they were smart, they would be.
What's again to me?
Ooh, him and Sony Michel got.
I can say they got him, Sony Michel, and they got James White.
Think about it.
And Cam.
I was getting ready to say Josh McDaniels he's a really good offensive mind. And when you got a decent offensive line, got a whole bunch of running backs, and let's be honest, the receiving core has much to be desired.
Yep.
And you bring in a guy like Leonard Fournette, man, and you start running read options and triple options, and defenses ain't prepared for that. They're not prepared for that. Think about it. No preseason, nothing on film.
Hey, didn't Josh McDaniel work with Tim Tebow? If he can do something with him, bro.
Listen, here's the thing, right? Like Biff just said, you put in Sony Michel, he runs downhill at you, right? He go out, you like, I bet, man. The Punisher's out, and then you bring in Leonard Fournette, and then he running downhill at you. Like, they get back to Smash Mouth.
And then Cam running downhill at you. Like,
goodness gracious, bro. That's
a lot of big bodies.
Yeah, that'll wear a defense down quickly.
But I do like him in Tampa, though. I like him in Tampa because that is the really one thing that they're missing. They're missing that really big back. But Leonard Fournette is also a guy that he showed last year. He can catch the ball out of the backfield and be effective in the passing game as well. So, wherever he goes, if he goes to a contender, it's gonna kind of change the shift, at least in that division.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna say the conference, but it's gonna at least change the shift in that division wherever he lands.
And depends on what team he goes to. It could change the conference. I just hope he comes to Philly.
What's wrong with Miles, man?
Nothing's wrong with Miles.
Nothing wrong with Miles.
I mean, anybody would want to add him.
He's no Leonard.
Ain't nothing wrong with Miles. You can have a 1-2 punch. Miles catches the ball out of the backfield. Leonard Fournette's a downhill runner. He's gonna punish you. Like, nothing wrong with it.
Hey man, listen, if you want to come to the team,
y'all do need a back though. Y'all do need a back.
We got like 8 of them.
Y'all just got rid of.
We still got Mozart. We still got McKinnon is coming off.
Like I said, McKinney, man. Do y'all really have McKinney? He's been there for 2 years.
Listen,
and he hasn't played in 2 years.
No, but he's in training camp. And
he was in training camp last year too.
Just shush. Just shush. Don't wish nothing. He's there. We day by day. I don't see him on nothing, so just keep it. You know what I mean? Because we pay this man a lot of money, bro.
Like I said, y'all pay him a lot of money.
So I'm
But where's he
like,
gonna
hush.
play?
Don't even say his name. We got backs. We just leave it at that. Don't jinx nothing.
I seen your boy, man. You jinx your boy. Jalen Hurd went down again.
Oh, he did? Oh man, I ain't even peeped that.
He out for the season.
He out for this. God.
Jalen Hurd out for the season.
What is going on the turf in San Francisco, bro?
That's just like Irvin James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Chargers, man. Like,
That's
goodness
huge,
gracious.
bro.
That changes that team.
Yeah.
And that changes that division.
Yeah.
So, real quick, while we're still talking about that football and on that team, they came out, named Tyrod Taylor the starting quarterback. How old? I think Tyrod's like 20. I think he's like 30, 31, 30, something like that. If Tyrod balls, how can you go to like how can you go to Justin? 30's not an old quarterback. That's prime.
Derwin James just gave him their out. They're not going to be winning. So even if Tyrod is balling out because they're not winning, you can justify going to the rookie. He just gave them Derwin James' injury. Just gave them the out after naming Tyrod the starter. Now you can justify. Hey, if we go with Justin at any point in time this season, if we're losing, we can justify it. If they're winning, you can't justify him going. I don't care if Tyrod's playing bad or not. If they're winning, you can't justify it. Because it's more than likely going to be because of a pass rush and the offense. Because they still got decent weapons on the offense on the offensive side. You know what I mean? The defense is just the secondary is just not going to be as strong when you take off that type of talent.
So, see, to me, what they're going to do is, if I was them, I would just slide. I would slide. What the frick is that slot corner name? Iowa. He came from Iowa. Desmond King. I'll just slide. They got Chris Harris there. They got Casey Hayward there. I would just slide Desmond King into Darwin James' spot. Let's roll. That's what I would do. But anyway, yeah, I just think it was crazy to and again, we probably thought that was going to be the case. But to me, neither one of them had an off season in the Charger system. So to me, why not just play your number one overall pick, your first round pick?
I think but go ahead, Tom.
In this condition, I mean, with not being able to get any snaps and play him day one, that's scary.
Listen, what's his name ain't got no snaps either.
But he's I mean, Tyrod is a veteran, so I mean, like I get it. You're gonna have to knock on the rust, but this man ain't never played an NFL game in his life.
He played football all his life, though.
He has, but not the NFL, bro. NFL different. I mean, any rookie quarterback can tell you. Even Peyton Manning could tell you as a rookie it was a little different. The interceptions showed that it was different.
So you got to get your lumps in, man, because this thing, and this is why I was starting from day one. This is why I would start Justin Herbert from day one. Are they going to beat the Chiefs? Are they going to compete with the Chiefs? No. They're probably going to get smoked twice. Are they going to compete with the Raiders? I like what the Raiders have done. I think the Raiders are probably the second best team in that division. So then you got the Broncos, who at the end of the season, Drew Lock looked like the franchise quarterback. So you need to find your franchise quarterback, and you ain't gonna find it with Tyrod as your starter.
They want to be competitive. Tyrod getting the same treatment he got in Cleveland, and he was playing decent ball in Cleveland. And as soon as the ship tilted a little bit, they said, "All right, let's put my man in." So Unfortunately for Tyrod, he's going to be that journeyman quarterback.
That's the story of Tyrod's life, man. That's the story of Tyrod's
Hey,
life.
he's professional. So listen, he's won games.
He has won games. He went to the playoffs with Buffalo. Yeah, I mean, I think did they win a series? No, I think they lost. But no, I think they won a playoff game.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But what'll be best for his career is that once he becomes that journeyman and gets that backup position, if he gets a backup role in a winning team and wins a ring, you know what I mean? I think that'll be okay for him.
If I was Tyrod, once you sign Justin Herbert, I would have said I want to be released.
But then where are you gonna go?
Listen, I don't care.
Who else needs a quarterback?
Like Cam had a problem.
Jacksonville.
Cam Newton had a problem, bro.
I know Cam had a problem. Cam
Newton was an MVP not too long ago, man. He had a problem getting a job, man.
I get it, man. Listen, they signed Tyrod before Cam, so Tyrod actually got picked up before Cam. So I just said,
they knew what it was.
Justin Herbert, man, he's eventually going to take over the reins, and then Tyrod going to be in the same boat. And again, we don't know, man. We just saw what your boy did, cashed in, forget his name, from the Titans, Ryan Tannehill. We seen. So listen, Tyrod might cash in.
All right.
He might cash in. But anyway, so
I don't have any trouble with my statements. Go ahead, continue.
On to these playoffs, right? On to these playoffs.
Yeah, let's get to the playoffs, man.
First game I want to talk about, right? Denver, Utah last night. I think that's gonna be a battle, man. That's gonna be a battle for years to come. I think, like, and I said in the chat a lot. In the beginning, I was like, man, they need to just let that boy Michael Porter Jr. and release him, like let him go, like he needs to be the second star. And it felt like Jamal Murray heard me, and was like, yo, I don't know what they talking about. I don't know what he's talking about, but he looked like he is the star of that team. Jamal Murray looks like he is the star of that team. So
I knew who he was. Don't get me, you know what I mean? But listen, I didn't know he could go like that. I know he could go, but he went to a whole different level, in my opinion, man. On this one, I ain't going to give him the whole star range yet. That's still Jokic's team. But this one, we're gonna see this next round how real it is, though.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see Jamal Murray turn back to Jamal Murray, unless, like you said, if he turn into, like, if he can keep up that same level against, and we'll get into that. But I just wanted to talk about that battle, that Epic's Game 7 battle, because it was like, it was just, it made you feel good as a basketball fan, knowing that this 21-year-old, 22-year-old, and this 23-year-old is putting on shows like this, and they're in the same conference, and they can be doing this for a long time.
I'm gonna take it for what it is for right now. What we're seeing in this bubble, I don't think that's who we're getting ready to see outside. I don't think this is gonna be the same guys we see outside the bubble. Fans and everything, they play a factor. Like, these guys are locked in, and you're seeing like different side. Like Jamal Murray, I think he shot himself with some of the stuff that he was doing, man. I think he shot himself, man.
Hey, that 360 layup, I know he shot himself.
He definitely shot that. He shot me with it.
It was also a redemption for him, because he knew what he had done last year in the playoffs, and he kind of felt like it was his fault. So he was here to redeem himself. Now, that what we just seen, that's hard to top. You know what I mean? Let alone repeat and consistently play at that level. Like, he was dropping 50 after 50. So I'm not gonna say that he's like like he's the star. You know, I'm not giving him that. I'm not gonna say he's star of the team yet. I'm not gonna do that to Joker yet. I'm not gonna do it yet. Now, we get out of this bubble, and he goes to Utah, and he do numbers like that, then I'll give it to him. But it means something when you can go on the road and do it. Like right now, there's no crowd. There's no outside factors that play into it. So you can just zone out and zone in. So I'm not gonna say that it's a fluke. It's definitely no fluke. But I would like, man, if he's got to do something like that on the road before I say he's the star, because we've seen Joker go on the road in other people's buildings and do numbers like that. Jamal Murray wasn't playing like this before the bubble. We've never seen Jamal Murray. I don't know what he was like in high school. I can say that he wasn't like that in high school.
This look
but
like Jamal Murray.
this dude that we seen in this Utah series, and it wasn't even the whole series. Like he was kind of quiet at first, and then all of a sudden he was like, you know what? We might lose this. We're gonna lose this series if I don't turn up. I got to turn up. Nobody else was willing to turn up. Nobody else was willing to turn up. Not even Joker.
Not even Joker.
And Jamal Murray was like, I'm not going home. And he played like it. And I'm gonna give him his props. But again, I want to see him do it. I want to see him do it outside the bubble, on the road, in those tough environments like that. And then I'll tell him that he's a star of that team. But right now, he's definitely proven again that this bubble is just different, man. It's just different.
I love it. I'm going to say this, though. Bubble or not, he go off next series, I'm going to say your star. I don't care. Bubble or not. And if he go off and he dropping 50 after 50 next series,
I can't see that.
You can't see it, right?
I
can't see it.
I can see it, man. Like we cannot don't pretend.
Luka different though.
No, I'm not even. I wasn't even going Luka.
Oh.
We can't pretend that like Seth Curry wasn't having his moments. Tim Hardaway Jr., Trey Burke wasn't having. Like I'm not ready to sit here and act like those dudes wasn't getting off against the Clippers. They were. Those dudes was getting. They wasn't dropping 50 because they're not on that level. But Trey Burke getting 25.
Was cooking. Trey Burke was cooking.
25 is
I seen Trey Burke. I seen Trey Burke catch the claw with a move.
Man, everybody was cooking on every man. Like, come on, let's be real. If Porzingis is healthy,
that's a different series.
That's a totally different series.
Before we jump into series, right? I do want to talk about Donovan Mitchell, and what he did. I do want to talk about Donovan Mitchell and what he did in a losing fashion. Donovan Mitchell showed me something, man. I knew, like, even from as a rookie, we knew he was a star. But I think in, like, the last two games, taking the challenge to defend Jamal Murray, he showed me something. He showed me that, like, he could be a great two. Like I said in the chat, he reminded me of he getting Dwayne Wade-ish. You get a little Dwayne Wade-ish on me, like taking over a team, playing on both ends. He don't play defense on that same level Dwayne Wade did, but he was getting a little Dwayne Wade-ish on me, like he taking over this team. I legit thought they was gonna win that series, and I thought that they won that series. Donovan Mitchell was gonna propel that team to maybe the Western Conference Final. Man, listen.
I mean,
the way he was looking. Listen, the way he was looking in those first 4 games.
No, I get it. But that, I mean, we already knew that about him. You know what I mean? And we've seen that come playoff time with him as well. You know what I mean?
Not
it's just
this
a matter
level.
of actually getting help around him. And I thought that the Mike Conley might push them to at least the second they give a fight. I'm not going to go Western Conference Finals. But,
I'm gonna tell you this. Go ahead.
Listen, Donovan goes. I like Spider. He goes. I like him a lot. And like you said, he's getting to that in that range as far as his top 2 guards. He's definitely debatable.
But debatable, the best 2 guard in the game?
No, that far. I'm just saying as far as up there in that tier.
You gonna say what, baby? The best 2 guard in the game? Oh,
he the best. Man. He the best. Spider the best 2 guard in the game, man.
Oh,
he's the best 2 guard in the game.
So this is what I'll say.
Best two guard in the game, man.
This is what I'll say.
He the best two guard in the game. He just went 7 games with Denver. The other dude is going 7 games with Chris Paul. I ain't trying to hear it. He's going 7 games with Chris Paul. That's it.
Yo,
I'm not going that. I'm not going that Gallinari and Gilgeous Alexander and none of those dudes. Those dudes are good players, but they ain't got no business going 7 games with that Houston Rocket team. They ain't got no business. And James Harden on that team, and people always be like, "You too hard on him." I'm not too hard on him, man. They're going to 7 games with Chris Paul, who's supposed to be over the hill, right? That's what everybody kept saying. He's over the hill. And now they got this team in the playoffs are going 7 games with the beard.
Let's not act like Chris Paul ain't the top point guard of all time. Listen,
it's about matchups. Like he's not 36 either.
It's about matchups. It's about matchups.
He's like 35, 36. Man, no.
He ain't checking James.
That is still. It doesn't matter. First of all, it doesn't matter. That is still Gilgeous Alexander, Danilo Gallinari,
Steven Adams.
They are good. They are good players. But when you're supposed to be rebuilding, right? That's what the Thunder was supposed to have been doing. They're supposed to have been rebuilding. And now you went from being to the 5th seed, and now you're in the 7th game against a team that's supposedly had the best offensive player ever, right? That's what everybody says. He's the best one-on-one offensive player ever. He's supposed to be cooking. The kid, what's the kid's name that's guarding him? Dirk or whatever?
Yeah.
He is giving him fits, and nobody wants to admit it.
Yo.
Nobody wants to admit it. My man is struggling.
Can we be real about Dort? He built like a linebacker, bro. Everybody.
Man, he looks straight like the Mike linebacker, bro.
He built like a linebacker, bro.
Not a Sam, but a Mike.
He a Mike, bro.
He giving anybody fits.
man, but yeah, Spider different. And
he is different.
I thought they were going to win that series when they went up 3-1.
I did too.
And then after they lost Game 5, I was like, nope, they're going to lose. I knew they were going to lose after that because he was doing way too much by himself. And Mike Conley is just he's just one of those guys that he's just inconsistent anyway. So he go off one game and then the next game he may not. You know what I mean?
Checks, though.
He's a good player, but like Bill said, like I don't know what Mike Conley gonna show up. Like we don't know what Mike Conley's gonna show up. Like we don't know if Grizzlies rebuilding Mike Conley gonna show up, or if Grizzlies playoff contender Mike Conley gonna show up. We don't know which one gonna show up.
He got an early termination option. It's like $34.5
million. Is it team option or is it?
I just seen that, but I was like, when they were showing the press conference and they had Donovan Mitchell talking and they showed like the you know what I mean for next year or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, he 34.5. He just scored 8 tonight.
It's a team option. Boy. They definitely terminated that thing.
And that's why I wouldn't pick them to beat the Clippers because they got too many dogs defensively.
The thing I
for
would
Mike
pick,
Conley.
So the reason
I know I'm going Spider.
The reason why I would pick I would have picked them to give a shot against the Clippers, and the reason why I picked Denver to have a shot against the Clippers, same reason why I picked Dallas to have a shot against the Clippers. It was Porzingis, it's Rudy Gobert, and this the Joker. But believe it or not, Rudy Gobert showed me a lot this series. He showed me a lot offensively this series. Like he was getting the lane, hitting little floaters. Like he had a little touch around the basket. And I think if he can find that part of his game, they can be dangerous. If he finds that part of his game. If he gives you 22 a night.
Yeah, if he gives you 20 a night, that's a problem.
He'll never be that. He'll never be that type of offensive guy. He'll never be that type of offensive guy.
I'm gonna tell you what he can and why he can. Dwight Howard. if they do a pick and roll where he can just bounce it to him, he can average 20 a night, protect the rim. They can be all right. Now, I ain't talking about dumping it down to him where he's going to go get his own shot. He'd never be that guy. But the boy's 7 foot something, so in a league where, like, he legit should have destroyed. He legit, if they would have made it to the next series, he legit should destroy, forget what's his name's big name, Ivan, what's his name?
Zubac.
Yeah, Zubac. He should legit destroy Zubac.
That pick and roll, though, it takes a lot away from Donovan, though, having the ball. So I get what you're saying. At the same time, though, I would rather have Donovan having the ball than doing that pick and roll with Mike Conley and him.
No, man. Listen, I want Mike Conley. Mike Conley should go. So I also think that they something that Kenny and them said, they think that Donovan Mitchell is better suited at the point guard. So you move Donovan Mitchell, point guard, and then run that pick and roll with him and forget his name, Rudy Gobert. You got some.
I'd rather go and try to get another wing that I can get the ball to and get a bucket, and versus trying to develop Rudy Gobert into an offensive player. Yeah, I feel like that's a tougher project than just bringing in another guy. Yeah, even though you know what I mean, but I just feel like they have the pieces, man. Like, I feel like Joe Ingles is the perfect 3. Like, I just feel like they got really, really good pieces. They're just missing another guy that can just go get a bucket to take the pressure off of like, Donovan Mitchell had to score 45, 50 just to give them a shot, just for them to be in games. It wasn't like they were blowing the other team out when he was going to get these numbers.
And remember, Bogdanovich was out too.
Bogdanovich was out.
Yeah, he averaged 20.
A point a night. He gives you 20 a night.
Yeah, but
I'm with you with the wing as far as like a wing type player.
Yeah, I'd rather have a wing that I can get the ball to and go get a bucket. Well, Donovan is a knockdown shooter. That's true.
So, I guess I just want to talk about, because I like that series. I think that was a great series. But moving on to like these players. So let's talk about the other Game 7 that's happening tonight. Let's start there. I'm gonna say this. My money is on the Thunder if it's a close game. If it's a close game, my money on the Thunder, man. My money is on Chris Paul and the Thunder, because he's a clutch player. He's a clutch performer. Not saying that James Harden's not, but the other guy that I see, I
knew he was gonna make a reaction. Yo, as soon as you said that,
Brody, right? Listen, at some point he got to stop getting knocked out of the first round. Like, without Kevin Durant, he got to stop getting knocked out of the first round. He has the pressure's on Brody right now.
He don't need to play tonight. Then that's the only way. That's the only way he's probably not gonna get out of the first round this year. Is if he don't play. If he plays, they're losing.
That's.
If he plays, they're losing. And I'm with you again, Dom. If it's close, they're losing. I've never trusted James Harden. I remember. I'll never forget it. I kept hyping him up. You got to check out the kid from Arizona State, James Harden. Check out the kid from Arizona, and he stunk the joint up. And I was like, you know what? I'll never believe in this kid again. I'll never do it again. I don't want to hear nothing about this guy. And since then, every time he's been put in a big situation, he stung the joint up more times than not. Whether you want to talk about the 2012 finals, he was bad. Whether you want to talk about all of these playoff runs with the Rockets, he's been bad. And then you seen him the other night just disappear or turn the ball over or let Russell Westbrook dribble the ball up and throw the ball to the coach on the sideline. Like, that's James Harden. This is his team. Like, the ball, why is it the ball in his hands? It shouldn't even be a discussion about who the ball should be in, whose hands the ball should be in. It shouldn't even be a discussion.
At that moment.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Like,
shouldn't even be a discussion. It shouldn't be which one, whose turn is it? Nope, it doesn't. There's no discussion to be had. and then you let him do that.
Y'all got 2 MVPs on your team, and they're still about to get out in the first round, bro?
No. I don't even care if they win. They win 7 games with Chris Paul, bro.
If they win, I'm gonna keep it
Chris
real.
Paul and them.
If they
Just Chris
win,
Paul and them.
they're gonna go 7 with the Lakers. And again, I know we're gonna go there. We can get there. Listen, we can start right there. Then, if they win tonight, which again we don't know, they go 7 with the Lakers if they win. Just and I'm gonna tell you why.
Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. AD, and this is why I'm saying Lakers in 5 because I'm getting ready to say that I'm not gonna stop. I'm not waiting for AD. AD here now. AD is gonna average 35 and 12 because if you disrespect me and you put PJ Tucker on Anthony Davis and he don't go get 35 and 12, I don't want to hear nothing else about dude being a top 5 player in the league. I don't want to hear nothing else about it no more. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't. If PJ Tucker is guarding Anthony Davis and it's not 35 and 12 and 4 or 5 game series, I don't want to hear nothing about AD no more. I don't.
That's going to 7.
Help me with the 7.
AD's going to be in foul trouble.
Okay.
So just think about this, right?
Why?
Well, one, they're going to spread them out.
Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. AD, you're guarding PJ Tucker. He's going to stay camped in the same corner, and all I need you to do is be on the block right there, and then just step over and protect the rim. There's no reason for him to get in foul trouble guarding the dude on the perimeter.
Yeah, it's when he step over. It's when he step over to guard the rim with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. That is where he's going to get in foul trouble because those two draw fouls. They
haven't been in this series.
In what series?
In this series, they are. James Harden is not getting to the line the way that he usually
so
gets to the line.
That's why I say basketball is about matchups because they have wings. They have Chris Paul. They have the boy Dirk. They have wings that they can throw at Russ and them. The Lakers don't got those wings. The Lakers have LeBron. They have AD. If I see Danny Green on James Harden, my eyes gonna light up. I see Kentavious Pope on him, eyes gonna light up. Whoever you put on either one of those two, my eyes gonna light up. Like I said,
come on, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we hear the same thing about the Blazers?
Yeah, we did.
Listen, don't talk to me about the Blazers.
Wasn't it 5? Wasn't it 5 with them too?
They did go 5. They did go 5.
It was 4.5.
4.5.
His name wasn't there, so it was
4.5. Listen. Dame got injured halfway.
Bro, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna ready to be the same results.
No, it was different there because AD could play in the block. He can play in the post. He destroyed those bigs. But the Rockets, they're gonna spread you out. AD is gonna play they're not gonna be able to play ball. They're not gonna play the two bigs. They're not gonna be able to play JaVale McGee. They're not gonna play JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis. So that's automatically gonna hurt their defense. Automatically. So then what you mean?
Because they spread them out. So they're relying on their threes to win the game.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because guess what? When I spread you out, I'm going to get to the basket. And then it's when I get to the
Dom, that's you.
No, that's what the Rockets take. Layups and threes.
No. That's how you would do it.
They drive and kick.
They continuously set the record for the most threes in the playoff game. That's all they want to do.
They get layups and shoot threes.
They don't want to drive. They want to shoot threes. That's all they want to do. They want to shoot They want to shoot threes, make layups in transition, and get to the free throw line. If you cut down on that transition, the Lakers have to protect the ball, which they probably will, because it's not like they're playing against defensive juggernauts over there in Houston. They're gonna destroy the glass. Like,
ain't nothing new.
This should be a no contest.
And listen,
if this goes 7, that's almost like a Lakers loss, in my opinion. This is equivalent to the Rockets going 7 with the Thunder.
If it goes 7, I got my money on the Rockets. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Man, Lakers in 5, and I'm being generous.
I got my money on the Rockets.
Especially if Russell Westbrook is playing.
If Russell Westbrook turn back into Brody,
he's not turning into Brody, man.
a different offense.
He's not 100. He's not 100. He's not 100%, and his rhythm off.
I didn't think this offense was good for him in the first place.
I think it was good, especially when they went small.
But he's not a knockdown shooter.
But that's why. But see, I don't need him to be a knockdown shooter. He needs to be the one that penetrates because you have nobody to stay in front of him. He paint points. He's baby.
But now you got James as a. Man, it was man. It's looking the same way that we said it was. Both of them need the ball in order for it to work. They can't coexist on the same court because now you got it to where Brody coming down with the ball in crunch time. Yeah, that can work in OKC when it's just you and all your boys. But now you got James Harden, quote unquote, the best offensive threat, and he don't have the ball. He don't have the ball.
That's coaching. That's coaching. And
Man,
I also
I'm not mad. Bro. This is if I average 37 over the season, and this is my team, I want an MVP with this team. If I'm a decoy, cool, but
Brody averaged like 27. Listen,
he's not that same dude right now.
I can say he's not that same dude. That like Biff said, he's not that same dude right now. If they can get past the Thunder tonight and he turns back into the Brody that we know, they're going 7. It's going 7. They got two people on the wing that they can't check. And actually, if Eric Gordon gets healthy, also, if Eric Gordon gets healthy and start hitting shots, it's definitely going 7.
It's going to be exciting.
Not if AD averages
80 ain't doing that 12,
though. But you just said if 3 other dudes gonna do something. If I'm just saying if one dude, you need 3 guys to line up for you to go 7. Yeah. I just need one guy to line up and it's gonna go 5.
I get it.
Being nice.
But we've seen the only thing that's stopping Brody is his injury. We've seen AD not want smoke with with smaller players. We've seen it. He don't want smoke with smaller players that can fuck with him.
He looked like a different dude in that series.
He just went up against 2 bigs that couldn't move their feet. I seen Melo guarding one time. He ain't want no smoke.
Nah, he really didn't.
I seen Melo guarding one time. He want no smoke.
Melo's a little too big for him, but Melo different. But either way,
Melo ain't no different. Melo don't play no defense.
He'll play defense, but he wide.
He like,
he ain't want no smoke with him.
He ain't want that bigness down there.
AD was just respecting his elders. He didn't want to disrespect that man. He didn't want to disrespect that man on national TV. That's all that was. But PJ, again, man, AD, man, you've got to dominate.
If you don't dominate,
he's got to dominate. And me personally, I might play both bigs.
Nah,
I might play both bigs, man. Nah. Again, I'm gonna kill you on the glass, and then if I really want to dump it down to Dwight, who's stopping him?
Yeah,
Dwight.
Yeah.
If I really like I can get PJ Tucker and whomever else, I can get him in foul trouble anytime I really want to. If
not with Dwight.
PJ, yes, Dwight still can he still can get double teams and demand that presence if he wants to.
Dwight gonna be in foul trouble this series. I'm gonna keep it 100.
PJ Tucker.
Dwight gonna be foul trouble this series, boy, because he's gonna try to hit that little shoulder offensive foul.
See, that's that dumb stuff right there. You're right, too. That's probably
that's what they do.
They're gonna have to rely on their shot to win that series. Or if they can knock down shots, it'll be an exciting 5-6 game series.
I think it's going 7. Listen, I know that's your boy to mine, but I got to see it. I'm
just looking at the team.
If the Lakers are who we think they are and who they are supposed to be, they win this series in 5 games.
I don't see it, but
I only see them going 7 against that other LA team.
I don't see them going 7 against that other LA team.
Let's segue right into that series.
Like I said, we can segue right into that series.
If Paul George play like he played against Dallas, Denver will beat them. And I don't want to hear nothing. Denver will beat them. If Paul George is trash again for an entire series, Denver's going to beat them. They have no answer for Joker. And they are struggling as a team playing defense.
Y'all know who I picked to win the championship anyway.
I picked
Denver anyway. So if Paul George is struggling, I picked them to win that series. And if Paul George is struggling, and Donovan and Jamal Murray is this Jamal Murray, I picked them in 6. I I picked them in 6.
He said 6.
Listen, who on LA? I don't care who you throw at them. Can guard Joker.
I'm not. He's
Nobody.
one by default. He's one by default. So let's go down the list.
All right. So then we can go, and we can act like I know the Clippers got a monster bench, but let's not act like Denver ain't got rotations either.
No,
they got players as well. They got a good team.
This is one of the
especially
most
if Will Barton get healthy.
Right. Will Barton get healthy. Gary Harris just came back and he wasn't himself last game. Like they got Michael Porter Jr. coming off the bench now, and if he turned back into what we seen him before the bubble and in the bubble, and I'm gonna keep it real. I don't care if Paul George is on him or Kawhi Leonard is on him. If he turns back to the offensive machine that we seen, neither one of them can guard him. He's 6'10". He Kevin Durant. He a light-skinned Kevin Durant.
This is going to be a very intriguing.
I've only seen the. I think it's going to be a very intriguing series too, just because Kawhi. Kawhi is going to make this series interesting, especially if Paul George is been the guy that he's been in the last series. And like, that's a lot of weight to carry because you're expecting this guy. He's going to get his shots, which means like they could say, man, Lou Williams can go and get such and such shot. But he's got to get the shots in order to make up for Paul George's numbers. But Paul George is still going to get his shots. So Lou Williams can't make up for Paul George's mess because Paul George is still going to get his shots. And he's got to make them. And if he's not making shots and he's not playing defense, which is what he did in that last series, he wasn't making shots, wasn't playing defense. He was picking up dumb fouls. He's picking up dumb turnovers. Like Paul George looked like almost like he didn't want to be there at times.
He said it himself that he was going through some things mentally.
And he looked like it. He looked like it, man.
He said that I think after that one game he had like 35 or something. He said he got to talk to some family members and got himself together and whatnot. So that bubble was playing a mental game.
Then he came right back and stunk the joint up.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know what's going on with him, but we all know he better than that. We all know he better than that. That is not Paul George. That's not the best Paul George. And that's not who he is. We know he's better than that. But I can only go by what you've shown me lately. And what you've shown me lately is that you might get ready to cost your team a championship. Because they're if outside of the Lakers, they're everybody's favorite.
Yeah. Speaking of favorites and not helping your team out, why Giannis don't want to guard Jimmy?
Hold on.
Why he can't? What do you mean? Why he don't want to? He can't.
That's been the when I look at newspaper clippings, they saying why he's defensive player of the year.
Like we said a couple episodes
ago. Rudy Gobert was defensive player of the year last year. What, you was gonna throw him out there on Jimmy Butler too?
Hey, it's funny when I see these dudes. I was like, really? You gonna throw your big out there on the? But
this is what I'm gonna say. Like I said prior to Giannis winning the defensive player of the year, who has Giannis guarded? And now we see it. And now we're seeing it.
Simmons case.
Listen, Giannis got it already. So
I mean, but you can say the same thing with Dwight Howard and all his defensive player of the year awards.
Yeah, and I get it. But Dwight Howard's a big. Giannis, in this era, he's a perimeter player.
He's a big. What are you talking about?
He plays on the perimeter. He plays
offensively.
Yeah, so I'm just saying in this era.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the fleet of foot to stay in front of guys that can handle the ball and with that type of quickness. He can't stay in front of it. Jimmy would eat him alive, man. Jimmy would eat him alive. He doesn't. Yeah, he's long. He's not quick. He doesn't have a great first step. He has a long first step.
You look quick on offense.
Because it's two strides, bro. All you need is two strides. Man.
Like he split Jimmy and James and Crowder yesterday. Well, the other day, and flipped it up and made it, and he almost flipped it up from the dotted line.
Yeah. Listen, Giannis, but like I said, Giannis don't guard people. I mean, he doesn't guard all-stars. He and it could be like you said, the position that he plays, but he doesn't guard all-stars. And we're seeing it. Jimmy, and I'm glad that we jumped right into that one. Like they tied right now. Actually, Miami up right now. Miami up 83-78 in the third quarter.
This is supporting cast, in my opinion.
It's not the support cast. What's name went for
You don't think
30?
so?
He went for 30 in the game one.
It's the same. It's the same thing that happened to him last year against Kawhi. And the Raptors, if you can cut him off from getting to the rim, you take away his effectiveness. The other guys around him are fine. Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez was hooping the other night. It was Giannis didn't get his numbers, and he played bad. He had a terrible turnover towards the end of the game. Like, and me and Don was talking about it. I don't think he can be I don't think with the way his game is right now, he can't be the best player on the championship
team. He can't be the best player on the championship
team. He can't
team.
be. His flaws are way too much.
Yeah.
Unless he gets an exclusive post game, like that's why people was like, man, he's dominating like Shaq. I'm like, no, he's putting up Shaq like numbers. That is not dominant like Shaq. Because you throw the ball in the Shaq and he had moves. Giannis doesn't have it. He doesn't got no. What is this move?
Take nothing. You know how you took stuff away from Shaq. You fouled him into the free throw line. That's how you took stuff away from Shaq. You can't take you can take things away from Giannis, like the
fouling him and sending him to the line.
Like the heat, right? That's one of the ways. But if you build that wall with Giannis,
because he's all downhill,
there's nothing you can do. And now I gotta rely on these shooters.
No, you really
I gotta rely on
he can handle the ball. He has decent handle, but he's not twin leg, cross you up, step back. That's not who he is. And then he also big, but you're not gonna dump it down there. And he turning over the left shoulder, turning over the right shoulder. That's not who he is.
Yeah,
he gets buckets because he goes straight to the rim. I'm longer than you, I'm bigger than you. I can either go around you or dunk it over.
That'll make him rethink the whole league.
Not coming at his game.
Jimmy in them on
not coming at his game. I'm just saying that's what he does. And it's different, again, when you can dunk the ball down to him and he got moves and you fear him in the post. Give the ball to him in the post, he don't even want it.
Yeah.
He want to dribble it back out and start over.
Yep, and go down.
Reset.
Yeah.
Right now,
he won the MVP last year.
He did. Don't win it again this year.
But MVP is a regular season award. It's a regular season award where you're not playing one team to focus on you for 7 games. Right now, they're down by 1. He got 16 points.
But it's just making me rethink the whole league, bro. Like that's his whole game, and he about to win back to back.
But it's about team success. MVP is about team success. Like it's Giannis has had the best team.
Because Russell won and they was the 6th seed.
Bruh, ain't nothing. Listen, if you would have not given it to Russell Westbrook that year, you a hater.
But they was the 6th seed.
He averaged a triple-double, though.
They was the 6th seed.
He averaged a triple-double, bruh.
That was him.
Triple-double.
That was him.
The team, listen, he got a team in the playoffs, 6th seed, and he averaged a triple-double. Majority of the time.
Giannis got one move, bro.
Giannis does have one move. We know, and I'm telling you, I've been saying it for years.
His flaws are too much, man. He can't be like I don't even know I'm get ready to say this. I don't even know if he fits with Golden State.
He will. And that's what I'll say. He's downhill. And you kick it out to those shooters, like you can't. And I think that's the only team. Huh?
He got shooters down, though.
He ain't got these shooters.
He ain't got Steph shooter. He ain't got Clay, but he got
Steph and Clay shooters. He ain't got those shooters. So that's why I say that's probably the only team.
He would disappear with that team.
Why? How would he disappear?
Because Kevin Durant excelled because he was able to create his own shot. In order for Giannis to be Giannis, he has to be the focal point. If you go to Golden State,
Giannis is gonna go there and be Draymond Green.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, yo, he would disappear, bro.
I don't think he'd disappear.
That's what he has to do.
Giannis can score. So I don't think he would disappear.
But on that team, you have Steph and you have Clay, so you already know what it is on the perimeter. In order to get yours, you're going to have to create your own shot. We just said with him, if he gets it in the post, he's taking it back out.
But you can't you can't build a wall in Golden State. You're not going to build a wall because to leave them two open, that's deadly. I would rather I would rather stick to them and allow Giannis to go off.
Giannis might fit better in Miami.
Giannis with Bam Adebayo.
I think Giannis fit great in Phoenix.
That's a good one.
I can see it.
Him and DeAndre Ayton.
Like I said, but I can see it. Him and DeAndre Ayton, I don't like it. Since we're talking about it, right?
He playing with a nice big now. I ain't gonna say
his big shoots jumpers. The big,
listen, his big was an all-star. Don't do that to Brooke. Don't do that to Brooke Lopez, bro.
He shoot jumpers. That's why he fit well.
He can still play the block. Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't disrespect all-stars by ever saying that Brooke Lopez was an all-star.
He was an all-star, bro.
I don't care.
Do that to Brooke. Brooke averaged 17 and 10, man.
With the Nets?
New Jersey.
Come on, man.
Listen, man, he the better of the Twins.
That was nice of them. The one time he actually averaged double-figure rebounds, they let him be an all-star.
I gotta say, bro, for years, Bo was averaging like 5 rebounds a game. Come on, man.
Oh, man. Dude's a really good shooter, and I think he's a really good defender, man, but he's probably the worst rebounding big in NBA history.
In the NBA. Jimmy Butler got 8 points, bro, and they down by the Bucks are down by 3.
Jimmy just waiting for the 4th, yo.
That's why I don't think.
No, Jimmy is Jimmy. Like I said, man, like Jimmy can be inconsistent. As great as he was the other night, I know that was the other night.
Yeah.
I've seen him in Chicago. He looked different the other night, though. I give it to him. Like he was like it was personal. It was almost personal. It seemed like, you know what I mean. It seemed like it was personal for him, but. This team, man, they're shooters, man. They got a lot of shooters, which can make up for Jimmy having a bad night because you can get a whole bunch of threes. When Duncan and Tyler and the other guy, what's his name? None. Like when those guys and Dragon, when they're knocking down shots, Jimmy can have a bad night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, they have something there, man. They have something there. I don't know what they're missing. I really don't know what they're missing. But
maybe nothing. Shoot.
They have something.
Maybe not. Listen, if they go up 2-0 right now against the Bucks, and then because they won the series against the Bucks in the regular season. And they won the series against Boston. I think because what we've seen from Jimmy, and because like we know like you need that superstar to win. Maybe they just got a collection. Maybe this is 2011 Dallas. Like maybe this is the 2011 Dallas. Like where you don't need and no disrespect to Bam, he is an all-star, but you don't need to. Guys to take over that can take over, and I think Bam can take over a game. Duncan Robinson definitely can take over a game with his shooting. Duncan Robinson is the European Klay Thompson, except on defense. He don't play defense, but when we're talking about his shooting, I put him in the same category as Klay Thompson.
So you said Boston. So you already
off of what I seen this year. I put him in the same category.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Nah, I seen him at Michigan. He's not.
He's streaky.
Yeah.
He's been streaky all year, so.
And again, yeah, he had a good year, but JJ Redick has great years too. JJ Redick. And you're not putting him in the same. You putting him in up there with Klay Thompson?
Shooting wise?
Yeah.
Yes. Same category.
That's Duke love.
No,
that's that Duke love.
What?
The way they should listen.
Oh, never mind. I forgot he was a Duke.
I'm gonna take Duke out of it.
Just that. You're right.
I'm gonna take Duke out of it.
You're right. That's the Duke love.
I'm gonna take Duke out of it. JJ,
I've heard people refer to Klay Thompson in the same breath as Steph. I would never put JJ Redick in the same breath as Steph.
All right, so listen. And y'all know how I feel about Steph. So you're right. I'm not gonna put. Okay, so you got Steph. You got Klay, and then you got Duncan Robinson in there.
No
They're
way,
not. Okay,
man.
listen. Clay and Steph are on another level. I'm gonna say that. Steph on another level. Then you got Clay level, and then you got Duncan Robinson in them. I agree with you. I'm not gonna put him in the same class.
You're disrespecting a lot of shooters right now.
I'm not gonna put him in the same
Dom,
class.
Dom, stop
as-
talking, bro. You disrespecting a lot of shooters right now. There's gonna be a lot of people coming for you right now.
What you mean? Listen, Ray Allen is in the same boat as Clay. So I'm not gonna just say Clay in a class by himself.
So
Ray
hold
Allen up
on,
there.
man. Like Duncan Robinson he's a really
You're not in the
really
class with
good
Clay.
shooter.
Clay, I'm gonna take that back.
He's in a really, but I don't even know like where I'd put him at with anybody though. Like he's had a really good year.
Yeah.
He has a great story. You know what I mean? Undrafted, came from Division III. He has a great story. You know what I mean? But he real streaky. Like I seen games he had 12 points. He had 4 threes, and he was 4 for 15. Like I'm not.
He won above Steph. He Dell Curry.
Who Dell Curry?
Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson. Listen, he'll take that. He'll take that.
I won't though. That's
He's Seth. He's Seth Curry.
Nah, I won't do that. No, well, no. Man, listen, don't do that.
I say yeah.
You put them on the same.
I put them on the same level.
Duncan and Seth.
Even though Seth can hit off the dribble, that's the only reason I don't think that's why I don't like Duncan's not going to beat you off the dribble like other guys and hit the jumper. Now catch and shoot
all day.
That all day. Like to me, he's not a better shooter than Nick Stauskas.
From Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's hands down a better shooter than Nick Stauskas.
He is not a better shooter than Nick Stauskas.
Listen, NBA Nick Stauskas, yes, he is.
He's an NBA.
Nick Stauskas always was on one of those trash teams that was always rebuilding. And if he found a niche, which was shooting, if a team gave him the right opportunity, he would have been fine. He don't play no defense, just like Duncan Robinson don't play no defense.
I agree. So, but we just talking about off day shooting. Off day shooting, I'm taking Duncan Robinson, man. Duncan Robinson is on a championship contending team, and he is putting the work.
Hey, speaking of shooters, how about my Celtics going 6-0 in the?
What you just say?
I picked them.
You're a Blazers.
I picked them.
You're a Blazers fan.
I picked them. I did. I picked them. I picked them in LA to be in the finals.
Oh, I picked them in Denver.
So that's why I just said my Celtics.
And I picked the Sixers in Denver, man.
God, see.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you.
With your heart, man.
Yeah.
I know. I definitely gotta stop. I gotta stop it. I gotta stop doing that. But I'm gonna tell you this. We talk about going to another level, superstar level.
Tatum.
Jason Tatum he turned it on. He said, "Man, this superstar Tatum."
Listen, and if you want to call him Batman, Robin following right behind him.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like they went to another level, man. And then you got the cardiac Kimba. Like
listen, Kimba went like 2 for 14 of them, or 3 for 14.
But listen,
he hit big shots.
But when you need him to hit big shots,
yeah, step back. Yo, he hit that step back in the fourth. I said, oh, that was like UConn.
The only issue with them is gonna be whomever they face out of the West.
Nah.
Yeah. That's
listen, I'll say this: if they play the Lakers,
that's when their lack of bigs could play a role.
I think they were hooping the other night, though.
I think they cooking Kawhi and them. I don't care. I don't care, bro. I think.
Man, with the way I am not impressed. I have not been impressed with the Clippers. I don't know where everybody else
at all.
I don't like the regular season. They were hit or miss. Let's be real. They were hit or miss in the regular season. Guys, Paul George was hurt, whatever. But I have not been impressed with them. They were not impressive in that Dallas series.
Why factor, man?
I understand that, but it's seen one-on-one.
It ain't.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, he had a better supporting cast in Toronto. People are gonna say, "Ooh, he got better players in the Clippers." Yes, they are better players, but supporting cast. You got too many alpha dogs on that team.
Too many personalities, big personalities.
Like Reggie Jackson was thought to be a number one guy at one point.
Yeah.
Lou Williams could be a number one guy if he really wanted to be. Paul George, Kawhi, like there are a lot of guys on that team, and I'm not sure how they're meshing. Like they don't like, especially defensively, man. They're supposed to be way better defensively.
It's because Kawhi just don't care about that spot. Kawhi just want to win, and that's why they're winning. You know what I mean? He just want to win, and I think because of that and him being a leader, that's why people follow. And Patrick Beverley, again, he's another person that just want to win. Like he gonna talk his talk, he gonna do what he gotta do, but they just want to win. You know what I mean? And I think that you got a bunch of players who on that team who hasn't won, so that's why they mesh because they haven't won, and Kawhi has won, and you got to follow his lead. And you got Doc on the bench.
One of the funniest things I've seen this week, man, I seen a clip where Kawhi passed the ball to Reggie Jackson, yo. Reggie Jackson went down to something crazy. He's like, yo, I ain't give you the ball for that shit, man. Yo. I was like, yo, I don't hear too much from him, but yo, that one, it was like, okay, I see what this guy's personality is, man. He ain't quiet. He not quiet at all.
He's not quiet. He's not quiet, man. But when it's all business.
All business. That's why he said to Reggie Jackson.
He said, I ain't give you the ball.
Like think about it. What was it? Danny Green that was trying to dap him up as they was going to go out of the tunnel, and my man just pointed like, "Let's go." Like it was business time, man. Ain't got time for all of this playing around. It's business time. My man just pointed like, "Nah, let's just go. Let's go." I was like, man, you couldn't even dap that man up.
Kawhi is very different.
He is.
Like, bro said he don't need fool with the internet. Granted, I know everybody don't fool with it, but just like he might be. Like he had the 95. What was it? The 97.
Listen, Kawhi legit got a flip phone in that Silverado.
Listen, I don't blame him.
He got a straight back.
I don't blame him at all. And actually, he's probably doing better off than all of us. But yeah, he's definitely different, man. He's definitely all business, and he ain't about the charades. He ain't about the celebrity. He ain't about none of that, bro.
You can keep all of that. Exactly. That's exactly why I didn't go to the
man. So you ain't gotta follow me on Twitter or nothing. If you see me in the street, that's me.
That's why I say you follow me, bro. Kawhi look like he still write letters, don't he?
Yeah, he just might.
He still fold them up and everything. To you, favorite song.
He said he's 90s all the way.
All the way. So Kawhi don't text at all.
He still got music playing in the background of his voicemail greeting.
Oh,
Kawhi got a cassette tape that they getting warmed up for the game. Yeah. Got a Walkman.
He walked in with a boombox.
Anytime I see a meme that say about the voicemail of the music, man, I just be like, dang, I was stupid, bro. I was sitting there with the phone like this to the radio, and then be like, yeah, this is mine. Jeez, bro.
But what about when somebody walk in and you got to start all over?
All over.
Oh, man.
That'd be the worst.
I ain't even get it right.
Especially if you had a tape and you had to rewind it. You had to rewind the tape, get back to the right spot.
Oh, man. Stay in the 90s, Kawhi. Don't come to the 2000s.
But speaking of Kawhi, if he can carry this team, especially with the way Paul George is playing, if they can continue to win with the way Paul George is playing, and they win a championship, yo,
that's awesome.
I thought you was gonna ask the question and open up the can.
No, that we not. I don't.
Nah.
I'm not gonna throw that around.
I'm not going there.
I am.
Hold on, what can we talking about here?
Is he gonna jump into number 2? All time.
I ain't jumping in number 2.
He can jump. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this.
You can pencil him in there. Pencil him in there.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Pencil him in.
If you want to erase him, you can pencil him.
Pencil him in until next year, until Steph win his 4th one. But you know. Listen, 3 different teams, right? 3 different Finals MVPs. 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 3 differ and again, I know LeBron. We're gonna talk about LeBron because of his resume. But at 28, I think Kawhi be 28. I think at 28, LeBron was like just win his first championship. Kawhi would be on his third championship.
You're not gonna do that. He's playing with a Hall of Famer, man.
You said what?
Yeah, he had Hall of Fame all around him when he went first.
Come on.
Did he not? That's a yes or no question. Did he not have Hall of Fame all around him? Coach.
He's talking about. He talking about 2014 when Kawhi Leonard won his first championship. But Tim Duncan was the.
Who doesn't have Hall of? So did Jordan.
He did.
So did LeBron.
Nah.
Tim Duncan was the assistant head coach. Man, come on, man.
He didn't have that supporting. Like you got Timmy, you got Timmy, Manu, and Tony Parker.
Man, they were all assistants. Stop it.
Chris Bosh.
I give you that.
And we're talking about Tim Duncan over the hill.
He was an assistant. He was on the bench coaching.
We're talking about Tony
mental.
Parker.
It's all about
Tony
mental.
Parker over the hill.
Mental.
And Manu Ginobili was old when he came in the
Kawhi
NBA.
Averaged like 19 that season.
Yeah, Kawhi. I mean, Manu was already starting to receive a little ball spot, even though he had the Jags already when he came over. I understand the IQ, but guess what? This ain't. You're not playing on a table. You still got to go out there and physically.
They said coaches got IQ too. They'll be out there with the ball.
I'm not saying that Kawhi didn't, have a lot of help. I'm not saying that. Right. But how come we always want to discredit people because they play with other players? They went to the court that day and say, "Hey, yo, you run with me." Like, come on, man. I can't. Man.
No,
not to an extent. I give you that. To an extent.
He do, but he bring in stars. It ain't like Dom, Biv, Tamon, come run with me.
Nah, but he said, "I pick. Hold up. You go here, and I'm gonna get him to come here, and then now I got my squad."
That's what Kawhi just did. Let's not listen. Paul George was under contract for about 4 years.
He only did this one time though.
Listen, he on that level right now.
LeBron has done it thrice.
LeBron do it all the time.
Ever since that first time he left Cleveland. But yeah, that's all I got.
But yeah, like I feel you though. Man, he's got his resume gonna be crazy. He's already got two defensive player of the years.
Yep. 2 defensive player of the years.
The only thing he's missing is regular season MVPs,
which I don't think he care about.
I was about to say the same thing.
I don't care about it.
And with the way that he low manages, he'll never get one.
Nope. Not at all.
He don't care. He only care about wins, which is
his playoff resume.
Playoff Kawhi.
It's gonna be up there with a lot of people, especially when you start talking about the what ifs.
Yeah.
Because if Jaja didn't do that, man, he was giving the Warriors all they can handle, man.
He don't want to hear that.
I'm not saying
that's the if.
I did again. I'm not saying they was gonna beat them. I still thought I thought that Warriors was gonna lose that game, and they were still gonna win that game in 5 or 6. The series in 5 or 6 games.
It was up 17 in Oracle, bro.
Listen, they was up 20. They was up 20 in the regular season, and they walked them down and beat them by like 10. And Kawhi was there.
It was just the way that it was looking. I mean, it was looking like it wasn't no walk.
I get it. Kawhi was on another level.
Again, I'm not gonna say they was gonna win that series. I'm not going that far. You know what I'm saying? But he was still doing that.
He was.
You know what I mean? He was still doing that, and that's what gave everybody, that like, man, if he get on the right team, he gonna be all right. And then the next time we really seen him,
he went to Toronto.
He was with Toronto and won a championship. So
here's the crazy thing, right? Here's the crazy thing about what you just said. And we talk about comparison again. I'm gonna throw another compare. That same team that Kawhi was giving the work to swept LeBron in the finals.
All right, so what's your final thoughts for tonight? Because you're going to get all these LeBron people. They not going to like us, Dom.
I'm just saying, man, listen. I'm sorry, my LeBron.
Dom just inspired my final thought, though.
I'm sorry, my LeBron fans, but the truth is the truth.
Well, let me go first. So my final thought is The sports is confusing right now because I'm all confused. It's September, and I'm watching the playoffs. I'm watching baseball, and I ain't seen no preseason football, and I forgot that football about to start next week. So, sports is confusing right now. Thank you, Kobe.
um, I don't even got no deep final thought. You know what I mean? Honestly, I probably ain't got no final thought. Um,
Not after that LeBron comment.
yeah, I'm saying like I
What's
ain't
your
got no,
final thought?
I ain't got no final thought. Be you. You know what I mean? Hey, stay in the '90s. Stay in the '90s.
All right. Since Dom took over the resident LeBron hater for the night, I'm gonna go at his man tonight. I'm gonna go at Steph.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
go at Steph because to me, and I don't get this wrong. I think Steph is great, but we've got to stop this goat point guard thing. He's no goat point guard.
Ooh.
He's no goat point guard.
Oh man, you didn't let a fire.
He's no goat point guard, man.
Let me
We always love to throw all these asterisks beside LeBron James's championships. Steph Curry has a lot of asterisks on his resume, bro. We're talking about a Chris Paul injury. We're talking about Kyrie and Kevin Love injury. We're talking about Kevin Durant. We're talking about no finals. Like, dude's got a lot of asterisks on his resume. Great, greatest shooter I've ever seen. Great point guard. But he's not on Magic level.
Oh my God.
He's not on Zeke level. Stop that.
Ooh.
Listen.
Stop. We don't got time to debate, Dom.
Like I said, I ain't gonna debate.
You got his final thought now.
But we about to have a show on this.
He got his final thought together, yo.
We ain't gonna talk about the asterisks next to Steph.
Hold on. I'm completely joking. I'm just messing with Dom.
Like I said, when Zeke got asterisks, and so do Magic.
I'm just messing with Dom. I knew he was gonna get worked up. I knew he was. Everybody got asterisks. Magic got asterisks. Man, what you mean? He played with the arguably the greatest center of all time.
And Zeke didn't get injured that one series?
Like, come on, man. Man, like.
Don't stop that, man. That man beat AIDS. So go ahead and wrap it up, Dom.
Listen, y'all. As y'all can see,
ever. He beat AIDS, bro.
Oh.
Why? I can't say that.
Until I see a positive result paper.
Come on.
Magic caught it in the 90s, bro, before the medicine even got good. And he never looked sick. He's never looked sick.
Yo, he hooped that 92 All-Star game as well, man. That man was hitting them trade balls.
He even made a comeback after that.
He hit him with the woo-woo. Go ahead, Dom. I'm sorry.
And then all of us, never mind.
Listen. As y'all see, we have a lot of fun on the show, man. We speak our mind, regardless of if it's incorrect or not. You know, with some of the blasphemy that just spewed out of his mouth. But listen, if y'all like our show, follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to know all the platforms that we're on, our link tree is on our Facebook page. It also is on our Twitter page. But if you got any comments or any topics that you want to discuss on our Facebook, on our
hold up. Breaking news. Leonard Fournette just signed with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
They trying to get that man the ring, man. Wrap this up, man. They trying
to
he definitely
about to win this dub. They definitely about to win this 7th championship.
Yeah.
Whoa. I feel sorry for y'all two guys, man.
Hey, listen, he gonna come to y'all too and smack y'all.
Hey, we ain't gotta get to the Super Bowl.
Did we play Tampa this year?
Y'all gotta go through them to get to the Super Bowl.
Anyway.
You don't gotta go. Whoa. Oh man,
Yeah, they definitely trying to get him a Super Bowl.
Nope.
Earlier we said that depending on what team he signed it with, he was definitely gonna change the division, and depending on what team he signed with, he could change the conference. He just changed the conference. He just changed the conference.
You Sean Payton, what you could have?
They can beat you anyway. They can beat you anyway now.
Oh my gosh! Right. Oh my goodness gracious!
All right, Joe. Let's wrap this up.
Well, that's our show, y'all. Blame Leonard Fournette. Blame Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, blame Leonard Fournette.
Until next time, y'all. Speak on it.
Yeah, man.
Peace.